Oh, he loaded up. Mercedes tattoos it to center. It is gone.
Potential tying run at third, potential winning run at second. High drive, deep left. Grand slam! Bobby Witt Jr. wins it.
Now the 3-2. Fastball hit in the air. Right center field. Back to Celestino. He's out of room. We're out of here.
2-2 count, runner at third, bottom of the 10th. Here it comes. A swing and a fly ball, deep left field. Down the line it goes. Gordon in the corner. Gone!
Ladies and gentlemen, you saw the intro. There we are. Welcome into the SKOL Twins post-game show. I am your host, SKOL, as always. Now that I'm talking, I don't know how good the echo is in here, but whatever. This is the first ever college edition of the SKOL Twins post-game show. I'll move my computer around. I'm not in my dorm room. Sorry to break it to you. This is just a study room that I'm in because our dorm room's kind of occupied. But what is going on, everybody? Today we are back, and today it is time to talk about the Twins game tonight. The Twins dropped a 4-2 game against the Cleveland Guardians. So with that said, let's do this, folks. Hopefully I'll be able to get into the sports dorm and film up there soon. But my roommate's kind of in there right now, so don't want to disturb that. But I will be in there soon. Maybe I'll do a tour. I'll do a tour of the sports dorm because got a whole bunch of Vikings and Twins and memorabilia and whatnot. It's really cool. You guys would think it's cool. With that said, of course, per usual, I took notes. I scored the game, and we are going to go through it right now, ladies and gentlemen. So with that said, the first and let me just think, is there anything else I'm missing? I rebranded the channel, but I said that during the video I filmed yesterday about the Vikings roster projection. So I don't have to go over that again. Well, we're just going to get into it. The first one I have is it was a tough outing tonight for Pablo Lopez. He was the starting pitcher for the Minnesota Twins tonight. Heading into tonight's game, he had a 1.80 ERA in August. Oh, actually, I just realized I didn't do like the overview of the AL Central. I should do that first. We're gonna backtrack, folks. So for the AL Central, the Minnesota Twins heading into this game were 69-63. They're now 69-64 with tonight's loss. The Cleveland Guardians are now 63-70. The Twins are 6 games ahead of the Cleveland Guardians in the AL Central. The Twins have a magic number of making the postseason of 24 games right now. Tonight would have been a great opportunity to drop it to 22. These head-to-head games against Cleveland are so important, but they were unable to do so. But hopefully they can during the day game tomorrow. There will not be a show. I have classes during the game, so I won't be watching the whole game, but I'll maybe see bits and pieces. Okay, so now I think that's about it for that. So now we can throw up that. All right, Pablo Lopez, like I said, he had a 1.80 ERA in August heading into tonight's game. He had a record of 9 wins and 6 losses on the year. 3.69 ERA, whip of 1.13, 191 strikeouts in 191 strikeouts in 158.2 innings pitched. His last start came Thursday against the Texas Rangers. The Twins won that game, I believe 7-5 was the score. He threw 5 innings, gave up 5 runs, 10 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Wasn't his best outing, but the team was able to pick up the win. And yeah, I guess really nothing more you can ask for there. As far as the Cleveland side, they had a bullpen night tonight because their starting pitcher was removed due to, I believe, knee soreness, they said on the broadcast. I just realized I need to shave. Holy smokes, it's really showing through on camera right now. But whatever. That's kind of irrelevant to this. Their starting pitcher was Gavin Williams. Heading into tonight's game, he was 1-5 on the year with an ERA of 3.52, a whip of 1.28, 68 strikeouts, and 64 innings pitched. In his last start, which was Thursday against the Los Angeles Dodgers, he threw 4.1, gave up 7 runs, 5 earned on 8 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and he threw 96 pitches. So he pitched the first inning. He gave up bases loaded to the Twins. I'll look specifically. Eddie Julien reached on a 4-pitch walk to start the game. Wild pitch advanced him to second. Jorge Polanco, not Jorge Lopez. He is gone. Jorge Polanco flew out to left field on a full count pitch. Max Kepler then reached on an error. Carlos Correa lined out to the shortstop, and what would have been really nice contact would have been scored 1, maybe even 2 if it would have hit the gap. And then Matt Wallner I think he was hit by a pitch. I didn't mark his hit by pitch. He was hit by a pitch, and then following that was Royce Lewis, who popped out to the second baseman. So with that said, he threw one inning, like I just said. Then after that, he came out of the game, and they brought in a new guy. Hunter Gaddis was his name. I don't know anything whatsoever about him. I only do research really on the starting pitchers, so I didn't know anything about Hunter Gaddis until he came in. Tonight, he threw 3 innings, gave up 1 earned run, 4 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and he threw, I believe, 64 pitches is what I counted. Also, I didn't talk about Jorge Lopez tonight. Jorge Lopez tonight had... I keep saying Jorge Lopez. Pablo Lopez. Pablo Lopez had 6 innings pitched tonight. He gave up 3 earned runs, 8 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts on... I counted 101 pitches, but the TV broadcast said 97. So usually it's not off by that much. Sometimes I am off by 1 or 2, but that's just kind of bound to happen. But I don't know why I was off by 4. So I'm going to go with what the TV said, which was 97, because my math is probably wrong. My pitch count had him with 22 in the first, followed by 13, 19, 28, 10, and 9 pitches. Jorge Lopez, I keep saying it. I did it again, guys. Pablo Lopez, it just wasn't his night tonight. He wasn't able to pick up the strikeout, which is usually his specialty, and he wasn't always throwing the same amount of strikes as usual. Usually, I think he throws it in the 60 percentile or the 60% range, not percentile. That's different. 60% range, and he was only throwing, I believe, in the 50s tonight. It just overall didn't seem like as good of an outing for him. He also didn't have as good of an outing against Texas either, but he was able to get the run support from Minnesota, which didn't happen tonight. So tough one for Pablo, but he should be able to pick it up again, and I have faith that he will be able to regain his composure when this team plays against the Cleveland again then next week. That'll be his next outing against Cleveland. With that said, my second main point is for my favorite player. Yes, I liked this man before he was cool. His name is Royce Lewis. Well, he was always cool. Royce Lewis. My favorite player on the team. He's actually in my phone password. 23 is 2 of the numbers out of the 6. I just love watching Royce Lewis play. He hit a solo home run tonight, his 3rd game with a home run in a row after he hit a grand slam Sunday night against Texas, grand slam last night against Cleveland as well. He just adds a spark to this team that they needed, and I hope to the Lord he can stay healthy, because he is exactly what this lineup needed. He's what the clubhouse needed. It's just beautiful to watch him play. I mean, overall, outside of that, he didn't have a super great night tonight. Royce Lewis flew out to second base in his first plate appearance. Then he hit the solo home run in the 4th, flew out to right field in the 5th, and also flew out to left field then in the 8th inning. But, I mean, it's just a joy to watch Royce Lewis play. It absolutely is. He needs to be in the lineup every day, and he is now. Rocco's embraced that, thankfully, but it's just a joy to watch him. He makes contact. In my opinion, I guess I could be wrong, but I don't think he strikes out a whole lot. From what I see, he puts the ball in play, and he does what the team needs, and that is anything this team needs, and I think he does a fantastic job of it. So with that said, I'm now going to move into my 3rd main point, I believe. I don't have anything else there. I was also going to point out this stat too. Max Kepler, since the All-Star break, has been hitting .319, and he leads the Twins. He had another good night tonight. That could have been one of my bonus notes, but it's not. I'll just add it to here. Max Kepler tonight reached on an error in the 1st inning. He hit a double in the 3rd, singled in the 5th, and then flew out to left on the first pitch in the 7th inning. But, I mean, it's just fun. I've crapped a lot on Max Kepler, but he's been showing through really, really well as this season's gone on. He's only still hitting .252, but 319 since the All-Star break that's what we're talking about. So I do have to appreciate him a lot more now. My 3rd and final main point that I have, since the team scored less than 3 runs, then I just go with 3 as my standard number. Their inability to get hits with the runners on base. In fact, especially with runners in scoring position, I counted tonight. The Twins went 0 for 6, if I counted correctly. Their only 2 runs were both on home runs. The one I talked about by Royce Lewis. The other one was Michael A. Taylor in the 9th inning. But they just couldn't get the clutch hit when they needed it. Tonight, the Twins had... Nope, that's Cleveland. 2 runs. They had 7 hits, left 9 guys on base, according to my count, but they also did reach on an error one time as well as having a few walks. The Cleveland Guardians tonight have 4 runs on 11 hits, and they left 10 players on base. They just felt like the better team tonight. In fact, last night the Twins had 10 runs on 12 hits. Yeah, 10 runs on 12 hits, but they were only able to follow it up with 2 on 7 tonight. So it's just tough when this team is so inconsistent, and that's just the one thing I struggle with watching this team is they can't string together consistent outings. And maybe that's my bout with Max Kepler too. Max Kepler can't string together consistent outings, although he has been doing a good job lately of it, but I figured I should probably tie that all together. But yeah, that's just the one thing that infuriates me about this team is they can't be consistent. I understand this is just one game. They've been playing well in the Texas series, and now last night as well, they played good, and tonight not so much, and hopefully they can again tomorrow. But I mean, it's true. This team's just an inconsistent team, and that's the one thing I really wish for them is that they can get better at hitting consistently, playing in the field consistently, which they have for the most part done a good job of. But I just want them to be able to hit more consistently and score runs on a more consistent basis than going from 10 runs last night to 2 runs tonight. That's one thing that I wish they would be a bit better at. So with that said, we're going to move into my bonus notes. I've got a few of them, actually. The first bonus note that I have is on Eddie Julien. Eddie Julien is a liability to the field. I'm sorry. If you were watching tonight's game, he almost committed a brutal error once. It's just as simple as the fact that he can't be consistent in the field. Almost gave up, like I said, an error, and that was really awkward. Someone just walked past me, made eye contact with me. But I guess that's what happens when you're in a public space like this and not in the SKOL cave back home. But yeah, Eddie Julien better be the designated hitter on this team, and I'm going to touch a bit more on that in a little bit, so we will get into that. Another bonus note, Carlos Correa hit into his 27th double play on the year. Ty France is in second in the MLB with 24. Yes, Correa is the MLB leader, and by a whole 3, which is awful. My third and final bonus note, Byron Buxton, Alex Kirilloff are beginning rehab assignments this week. Tomorrow, I believe both of them are. I believe Alex Kirilloff, if I remember correctly, Alex Kirilloff is designated hitting tomorrow, playing first base on Thursday, and then he gets a day off on Friday. Byron Buxton, I believe they were planning on putting him in center field for approximately 7 innings tomorrow. Interesting. They're not DHing him. They are putting him in center field with the Saints. Same with Kirilloff. I should have said that. They're both with the St. Paul Saints, the Twins AAA affiliate. Yeah. So yeah, Buxton in the field, 7 innings approximately tomorrow. And then I think they're going to take it from there with how does he feel after that? Are they going to DH him? Are they not going to DH him and instead just give him a rest day on Thursday? But they will cross that bridge when they get there. So I will be following the Saints for those 2 players. I think that's about it. Let me look through my notes, see if I missed anything. There was one thing I was going to point out, and it's actually contrary now to what I was saying earlier, so it's perfect. I took a picture of something on the Twins broadcast tonight. Sometimes I do that, and then I'm going to write it, and then I write it down later, but I didn't have time to write it down. So let me look just here. Since the All-Star break, so pre-All-Star break, they scored 4.2 runs per game. Now they've been scoring 5.3. They had been hitting 1.3 home runs per game. Now it's 1.7. Their hitting average has gone from 232 to 259. Their OPS went from 709 to 816. Strikeout percentage went, actually it did go up. But their walk percentage also went from 8.7 to 9.8 as well. So, I mean, they have been hitting better. Tonight was just an exception, and that was kind of that. I think that about does it. Let me look through my notes. I'm 2 weeks into college, and we already had our first fire alarm last night, 1 a.m. That was terrible. I had to get out of my bed with my roommate. We were not in the same bed. I should make that clear. I worded that kind of weird. But, yeah. So that was that. At 12:40 a.m., the fire alarms were going off. And then we both forgot our keys, so our CA had to let us back in. So it was kind of embarrassing, but we're definitely not the first people to do that. And it's a fire alarm. You're trying to get out of the building as soon as possible. I'm sure you guys don't care about any of the stuff I'm saying. I'm just kind of rambling about whatever's on my mind, but sometimes that's what you got to do. So let me look through my notes here, see if I missed anything big. Oh, I didn't look through the Twins pitchers. Talked about Pablo Lopez, then Emilio Pagan came in, pitched an inning, didn't pitch super well. He came in for the 7th inning. First pitch, Cole Calhoun flew out to short. Then Ramon Laureano singled. Then Andres Jimenez came up and hit an infield fly that was dropped by Correa in a questionable move. Then Then Will Brennan came up and hit an RBI single, and then Oscar Gonzalez came in and flew out to right field. So not a great outing from Pagan. I've put a lot more faith in him. As the season's gone on, I've gotten a lot more confident in Pagan. I definitely showed a lot of hatred at the beginning of the season. If you look on my Twitter account, and last season, I couldn't stand Pagan. Now I don't have as much of a problem with him, although he didn't pitch super great tonight. But that's okay. You don't pitch great every night, and that does happen. So hopefully he can break out of that. Cole Sands came in and pitched and did a fine job as well. Gave up no runs. He gave up a double, but that was it. So 1 hit, left the runner on base. I think that's about it. That's the Twins pitchers. No other Twins hitters that really deserve much praise that I at least thought of, other than Royce Lewis, of course, and Matt Wallner almost smoked one, but it was foul. But that would have been an absolute nuke. I think that was the first inning, if I remember right. Otherwise, it was the third. Correa double play was a big rip in the chat. Max Kepler had a good night. I already talked about him. That was kind of it. No one else really deserves big praise from me. So that does it. We're going to go back through them again one more time. Tough one for Pablo Lopez. 1.80 ERA in August heading up to this point, but had a tough time getting strikes and getting outs. Gave up a lot of hits. Royce Lewis is the future of this team. Hit a home run for the 3rd night in a row. My favorite player by far. Love watching him play. Twins had an inability to get hits with runners on base. They went 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position, and they were only able to put up 2 runs tonight, as contrary to the 10 they put up last night. Bonus notes, like I said, Eddie Julien is a liability to the field. He better not. If Byron Buxton comes back, okay, I'm about to rant a little bit about Byron Buxton, so buckle up, guys. If Byron Buxton comes back to the Twins, I don't think he's going to play center field first and foremost. Rocco's not going to let him play center field just because that's how it is. He better not be the DH. I would rather him not be in this lineup at all than him become the DH again of this team. I'm done. I'm done with the Byron Buxton experience. I mean, he can't stay healthy. He can't hit consistently. He'll have 1 week of just home runs and extra base hits, but then he'll go in an 0 for 25 slump, and I just can't do it with him. Eddie Julien better become the DH of this team. I don't like seeing him in the field, like I already expressed earlier. Way rather prefer Eddie Julien as the permanent DH over Byron Buxton, even though a rotating DH would be great, but I'm just done with Byron Buxton. And then Alex Kirilloff on a rehab assignment, as well as Buxton starting tomorrow in St. Paul. So I will not, although like I said, there will not be a Twins postgame show tomorrow because I have classes and it's a day game. Correa, 27 double plays, leads the MLB. I think that's about it. That covers my notes. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night. Hopefully I can film up in the sports dorm and give you guys a tour coming up soon. It won't be till at least next week, since I said I'm not filming tomorrow and the Twins don't play Thursday. And I'm heading back home Thursday. It's Labor Day weekend. So, yeah. And I have a haircut Friday. I don't like my hair. Wait, can't even see it. My hair's too long. I got to go shave when I get up there. But this is all irrelevant, and this is all my thoughts. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the SKOL Joel channel, not J-Dude. Yep, you know, this is SKOL Joel now. The future is here. We are embarking on a new era. Have a good night, everybody. Peace out, and as always, go Twins. I used to say go Guardians because I hated the Twins, but we can say go Twins now because they have a comfortable lead. I'm putting trust in Rocco that he'll take us home, but who knows. Have a good night, though, everybody. I will see you guys later.